Thanks very much. Secretary, welcome. Have you identified any precedent in Treasury or IRS history for the agreement not to audit, investigate, or pursue any tax claims against the Trump family or businesses?
I can't identify any precedent where 400,000 tax returns, including the people you just mentioned, and all of their employees were leaked in a violation of one of the most sacred duties of the IRS.
So let me cut to that then. Senator. The leak was by a contractor. Can you tell me what contribution is being sought by Treasury or by the IRS for the harm done by the contractor? To a certain extent, your organization and the IRS are the victim of the contractor's malfeasance or negligence. What is being pursued by way of contribution by that contractor?
Well, the ranking member chastised me for cutting the contractor's contracts off, and we have removed their contracts, their ability to do business with Treasury and the IRS.
But there is no contribution into this particular case.
The senator opens with a surgical first strike, demanding whether any precedent exists for a no audit, no investigation agreement protecting the Trump family. The secretary dodges by pivoting to the IRS data leak, attempting to reframe himself as a victim. The senator then corners him on whether the contractor responsible was ever held financially accountable, and the answer is a stunning no. The tension builds fast and immediately signals this will be a confrontational, evasive exchange.
Again, Senator, you weren't here earlier, but I'm unable to discuss most of this because of ongoing litigation.
Yeah, I know everybody likes to say that, but the constitutional...
We like to follow the law, Senator.
And the law is that the Congress has constitutional oversight functions that do not disappear simply because there is litigation, however convenient it may be, by way of providing answers. So we have no precedent for it. No contribution is being sought from the contractor at fault. Was there any consideration to the government in return for the benefits of no audit, no investigation, no challenge or pursuit of refunds or other penalties?
Again, Senator, I'm unable to comment because of litigation. Treasury is represented by the Department of Justice in all matters. They act as our attorneys, so I would suggest that you direct your questions to Acting Attorney General Blanche.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of times people who are before us invite me to ask my questions of somebody who's not before us, but you're the one who is before us, and I think you ought to know if there was any consideration offered or paid in return for that settlement. It's a very simple fact question. Was there or was there not consideration?
Again, there's ongoing litigation, and I suggest that you speak with the Treasury attorneys.
If this kind of behavior is okay with the chairman, I'll just pursue other questions. But, you know, what goes around comes around in terms of dodging questions.
The hearing's most explosive standoff. The senator demands a straight yes or no. Was anything offered in return for the sweetheart settlement? The secretary repeatedly hides behind litigation, even suggesting the senator go ask someone not in the room. The senator fires back with a devastating line. What goes around comes around in terms of dodging questions, exposing the obstruction in real time and putting the chairman on notice.
I believe it's very clear that witnesses of any kind cannot discuss ongoing litigation.
They can certainly discuss a fact that they are aware of. The fact that there is some litigation out there doesn't mean that a witness can't say, yeah, there was no consideration, or yes, there was consideration. Was there a defense analysis memo? It's referenced in the judge's decision in Florida Was there a defense analysis memo prepared by the IRS? And more specifically, did you see it?
Again, I'm not going to be able to comment on these matters.
Mr. Chairman, this just makes no sense at all. I've been a lawyer all my life. I have some idea of what is protected when you have a ongoing bit of litigation. Whether this individual has seen an official memo from within his own department is a very simple question to answer, and I think it's completely inappropriate to have this game of dodgem be pursued without any consequences. Well, last of all, here's another question. Was there any analysis of what harm befell President?
The chairman himself breaks ranks and calls out the witness directly, arguing that ongoing litigation does not shield a secretary from confirming basic facts he personally witnessed. He demands to know whether the secretary saw an internal IRS defense analysis memo referenced in a Florida judge's decision. The secretary refuses again, prompting the chairman's sharpest rebuke of the entire hearing.
President Trump from having his taxes released when every president since Nixon released their taxes, and he had promised to. Did anybody analyze whether there was actually any harm at all to him in those circumstances?
So there was a crime. President's rights under 6103 of the IRS code was violated, and equally as important, 400,000 taxpayers had that right violated, including every employee of the Trump administration, the housekeepers at Doral, the greenskeepers, the cashiers.
And you're welcome to pursue all of
seem to
that,
care.
but it doesn't answer the question of whether the president actually suffered harm. And you're not answering that question either.
The closing gut punch. The senator points out that Trump promised to release his taxes. Every president since Nixon had done so voluntarily, and asks whether anyone even analyzed if Trump actually suffered real harm from the leak. The secretary deflects by citing 400,000 other taxpayers, housekeepers, greenskeepers, cashiers. A political maneuver the senator instantly calls out as a deliberate non-answer, ending the segment on a note of unresolved, damning evasion.